And once again, here we are, Coach Sofet, podcast of the week, highlighting all things Bears football. Welcome, Bear Nation. I'm Coach Hoyle. This is Coach Sofet. We are in Skybox Studios. Actually, it's not plural. Skybox Studio above Bear Stadium right now. We've got a slightly cloudy day, a beautiful forecast, and a beautiful talk ahead of us with Coach Sofet. Coach, thank you as always for joining me. I like the Eagles gear. I love the stories. We've got a game to talk about last Saturday, not Friday, in Dehanis.
Yes, sir.
This was obviously an away game. I was not able to be there, and many of us were not able to be there. Can you give us kind of a brief overview? What went down?
Thanks for having me again. We got a busy week. It is homecoming week. I kind of want to make a couple of statements first. Senior night volleyball tomorrow. So come out and support the volleyball team, the boys and the girls, in their last regular season home game. We should be hosting playoff games, especially with those two teams. The girls team's undefeated. So I want to make sure, I make a shout out to them. Our cross country teams kicking and running and doing all those things that they're doing. Coach Hurt has them ready. So their regionals are coming up in a couple of weeks. I want to make sure the other sports don't get overlooked. Basketball starting at the end of the month. So we're going to be busy. I know football season kind of, around homecoming time, it's really just centralized around that. But, definitely the other sports, I want to make sure, they're part of what we do here too. And so I want to make sure they get their proper shout out. But
yes,
we went to Dehanis on Saturday. Saturday night football is definitely different. One less day to recover to come back to work on Monday. Everybody looked a little tired on Monday. But it was 14-14 after the first quarter, and we were in a good spot. We were fighting. We went through our scripted plays that we had worked on and different things, and the second quarter is what we lost. That was the reason we lost the game, was the second quarter. And the rest of the game, I thought we won. I mean, we won the first, the third, and the fourth. It was just really the second quarter. I know the final score was ended up being 66-50. I know it's a lot of points, but definitely we kind of turned it around, and especially in the second half. So it was a rough game in the middle. That the second quarter, we watched the film yesterday, and we went through mainly the second quarter, because I thought the other areas we went through the first and part of the third and part of the fourth, but just definitely, we just didn't win the second quarter, and that was. And it got away. Turnovers, fumbles, penalties, drop passes. We did a lot of things that were self-inflicted that lost us the game. Then we cleaned it up the rest of the game and started forcing them to do those things. So definitely something that, we talked about, in our team meeting yesterday to clean up everything. But, definitely a positive end. I know the loss doesn't really seem positive, but there was some positive in there.
Well, and that's alluding to the next question, as you usually do. So you guys are 1-5 now, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always think that sometimes the score and the numbers in general don't tell the whole story. And I just wanted to get your take so far. We're about midway through the season. How do you think? Double question here. How do you think that you guys have improved overall this season? And are there anybody that you want to give a shout out to that just keeps steadily getting better despite? A losing record and experiencing some adversity?
I will say, I think we've come together as a team, and I know that sounds weird being in week 6, but I don't know. Last week just felt like we just came ready to work. The Saginaw game was kind of one that was just really over quick. And they just piled it on in the first quarter, and we just never responded. We came. We looked at the film. We changed up a little bit what we did last week in preparation for this week. And I thought it worked. And then even leaving practice on Friday, I was like, man, I think we're in a good spot going into Saturday. Was very confident when we got there. We'd warmed up and everything. And so I thought we were coming together as a team. And then even yesterday, some of the boys were like, man, coach, that felt like a team effort. And I was like, yep. And so just really riding that into this week, opponent record out the window, just worry about what we do, and everything else will take care of itself. Individual shout outs kind of rough, because I think a lot of guys really showed a lot of stuff on Friday night or Saturday night, excuse me. Yeah. And so I'm just going to give it to the team. I think us as a team is improving. overall. And we're just going to continue to work. I know the record doesn't always show, like you said, what's really going on. I mean, it is disappointing that we're 1-5, but we're going to keep working. The 1-0 mantra is still there. I told them sometimes, sometimes during the game, it's like a boxing match. It was 14-14, so it was even. And then we kind of got knocked down a little bit and we had to fight our way back. There was just too much of that. But, they fought all the way to the end. I mean, we had the ball last and we were driving down the field at the very end and we still were trying to score. Even every little chance that we had, we were trying to move the ball down the field. So, just keep getting to work, man. Another opportunity on Friday night.
Yeah, a big one. Excuse me. So last year you guys had, I learned you guys had all but one game at home. This year you have about 4. I think one just got relocated. So we have 4 home games out of 11. In general, this is a lot of away games. And we know the old adage in professional sports that the old home court advantage is a big thing. How would you say that traveling and doing away games is affecting the overall outcomes of the games or the challenges that you guys are experiencing? I mean, I know that you guys are driving 2 hours to Corpus. I mean, these are long bus rides. These are long nights, long days. Any thoughts on playing away so much?
I do think it's a good experience to go somewhere else and play on someone else's field, especially for the kids. They, experience, Friday night lights in Texas, somewhere else than besides here. We did play a lot of home games last year, and part of scheduling when you do 2-year agreements is paying everybody back. Some of the same opponents weren't. Okay. Yeah. So they came to us last year. So our thing was to go back to them. And so we went there and went back to pay them back. And some of the opponents weren't the same opponents. They were like, we don't need to schedule you guys next year. So we had to fill in some stuff. We did gain a home game next Thursday. It won't be on Friday against St. Anthony's. We're going to play them on Thursday. It's going to be here.
Good to know. Thursday night.
Yeah. I got 3 of the last 4 at home. Yes, the home field advantage is definitely something, but I do think about the bus rides and you think about it, what goes into it, like how are we getting the equipment there? Who's going on this? We got 2 buses, the band's coming, it's cheer coming. That's parents, can you help with, the parents helping out with putting coolers and equipment in their cars. And, other schools are at a point where they have like a trailer and they have this and they take it. We want to get there. We'll get there. But, right now it's all hands on deck and, props out to the parents and helping out. But I do think the bus rides make us come closer together as a team. They,
Interesting.
And I think also like relationship wise, like overall with parents and different things, like some of them sign their kids out after the game. And so I talk to them. I don't hide from the fact that we lost and different things, like being able to talk to them. Hey coach, see you on Monday. Hey coach, good job, and different things. And we always go through, and the parents always are down there at the rail, no matter where we play. And I was like, go thank the people who came out to support you. And we went down there, run through the tunnel, slap everybody high five, and really thank the people that came to support us throughout the game. And it's cool to see, the collegiate crowd travel.
There you go.
And, travel and be there to support us. We had the cheer this past week. We had band and cheer the previous week. And, we're going there and, it's a good experience for the team, to go travel and go play on the road. But we do like playing at home. I like playing at home. I do too. The Big Bear, we're getting run out the Big Bear Head this week. I know they're looking forward to that. It is homecoming, but the 2 words that, I kind of really tell them throughout the week, we kind of have a message every week. And the 2 things I told them this week were distractions and together, because I thought we've come together. So we got to keep continuing that. Don't stray away from it because we lost, and just continue to build off that. But the distraction part, it's homecoming. There's parades. There's the
a lot going on.
There's the pep rally. There's a lot going on. And so just in the dress up days and different things like that. So just really trying to get the guys to focus in on what we got to do. I thought we had a good team meeting yesterday. I thought we did film good. We went through our study hall, pulling the grades, making sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing in the classroom first.
Right, definitely.
And then, like I said, it translates to the field. So, coming to practice, I already have the game plan ready. We've got the plays that we want to kind of get to. So we've kind of, I feel like we're building off of what happened on Saturday and just trying to, let's get back to the field. Let's get back to work.
Sure. And speaking of Saturday, you guys put up 50 points. Once again, this is not an offensive failure or a drought. I mean, you guys are putting up incredible numbers. What are some of the things right now on offense that you think are really clicking for y'all?
It's about the adjustments. You script the first 10 to 15 plays to kind of see what the defense does.
Right.
We had success on plays, and they always say, give what the defense gives, run what defense gives you.
Sure.
And they were giving us stuff and we were running it, and we were running successfully. This is what happens when guys run the right routes and run the play that's called in the huddle.
There you go. Yeah.
But also, we also ran the ball. I mean, we were down 41-14 and we got to run for 6 yards, and they're looking at me like, coach, I'm like, trust me, just run the play. Just run the play, the play. Just let's do what we've been doing. And they followed the game plan, and it almost worked. Sometimes when you get down like that, you just start getting pass. But we stayed trying to stay ahead of the sticks. And instead of it being like 2nd and 15, because we're passing and getting sacked, it's like 2nd and 6, and you seem more successful. Yeah. And then it's 3rd and 1, and you can run different things instead of it being like 3rd and 10. So all those things I think played out, and we've done a better job the past couple of weeks of charting our plays. So as we call them, we mark them down so we know it's successful, what's working, and just really trying to see what the defense gives us. But really, all in all, if we execute our plays and do what we're supposed to be doing, we, like I said, we're definitely improving. So
good. And how about special teams? We're always talking offense and defense, obviously. The unsung hero, special teams. I heard that there were some plays, some stuff that happened. How are you looking in terms of your special teams unit this year?
There's this one's you could say is a work in progress. Sure. I feel like we've had kickers get hurt, and different things, and we've had to make some rotations on the kicking side of things. But coverage wise, I think it's starting to click a little bit. We like to, we do what we feel is right on the kickoff and different things, where we kick the ball, how we're doing it. But we had a big punt where the other team got it, and it was a team effort, and we ripped the ball out and got recovered a fumble on a punt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we've had some positives on that side. It feels like it's more negative sometimes, and you watch the tape and you're like, man, but you got to be good in all assets of the game.
True.
You can't
3 phases.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that we're still working through, but I think that we're just going to keep getting better. We try new guys, we try different things, and we're gonna figure it out.
And clearly it sounds like you guys aren't quitting. Like you said, the second quarter was tough. You may have lost the game there, but quarters 3 and 4, you felt like you really won them. So that says a lot for the team. And, on to the next question. Despite the tough loss, it sounds like you guys are really catching midseason momentum at this point. What do you guys need to carry into this big homecoming home game to head in the direction of making the playoffs this year? What's the adjustment? What's the trend that needs to happen to bring the show back home?
They just need to believe in themselves that they can do it.
Mental.
Mm-hmm. They just need to believe. I think that they do. And I think that we just got to act it out this week. Like I said, you can label this game as Friday Night Lights. You can label this game as homecoming. You can label this game as distractions, or you can just label this game as an opportunity to go 1-0 this week.
There you go.
It's
that simple.
That's simple. And I just tell them, we just got to keep winning possessions at a time. We're gonna. You obviously want to be perfect, but if you keep striving for that, we'll eventually get there. So they just got to believe in themselves and believe in the game plan and everything that we're doing. So
yeah, and moving forward, I'm so excited for you guys to finally come back home, get to call the game with Principal Corey, and see the big show here at Somerset Academy. This week is homecoming. It's this Friday night, correct? The 10th, 7 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Is there a different way that you're going to prepare this week, the team? Like you said, there's a lot of distractions. It's a very intensified environment from what I've been told. What should the fans expect on Friday night? And what are you telling the players in terms of limiting distractions? And I just sense there's a lot of energy and a lot of fans, a lot of different people going to be out watching the team. Is there anything that you're doing uniquely to prepare the team? And what should the fans expect on Friday night?
Well, first, come out and support. Yes. Come out. It's going to be a fun environment on Friday night.
Yes.
The main thing is really just avoiding distractions.
Yeah.
And just really once they come down and they're in the locker room is like, just worry about football. All that other stuff's going to take care of itself. All of it will. And that's the main thing. Distractions are big and they can really distract them. I know it sounds cliche when you say that, but it's true.
It is true. Focus is what's needed.
And just making sure, when we're here and we're in the locker room, it's football time. I think we have a good, I guess we got to figure out the 4 to 5 time, because usually we're on a bus or loading up a bus.
Right.
But from after that, we kind of have a new game plan when we come out, what we're going to go through, what we're going to do. So we did that last week in Dehanis, and I thought it worked out pretty well for us to just continue to do something a little bit different in our pregame. And then we went back in and then we got ready and then we came out. But at the end of the day, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of people here.
Can't wait.
It's the funnest game of the year. But to me, as the coach, and to them, it's just really, it's another game on the schedule. Let's prep. We're changing up our practice plan just a little bit, trying to get the most out of the guys and just making sure, we're doing what we got to do on the back end. Like I said, we got the game plan in place, and really just now it's just about putting it, executing it, starting today. And really they had it yesterday and we went over a bunch of stuff. And so going out there and being excited to go out there and play and know that, like, hey man, if we go out there, and the one thing I've told them too is, because a couple of times this year we've gotten punched in the mouth right off the bat. Interception for a touchdown was one game. And then the other game, first play was like a 60-yard touchdown. And I told him, I was like, the other team's probably going to score at some point. So don't let it deter us. And what happened was they drove and down. They scored, I think, in their second possession. And then we went back down and scored on them. And I was like, see, just go back, keep fighting.
Yes.
And so we didn't really let that affect us. And so for them, they, like you said, mental, and just making sure that they got to have confidence in themselves and believe in themselves. And like you said, stay locked in and, just got to be confident in them. I'm confident in them. We moved a bunch of guys around and moving guys in different positions, and guys are excelling, and just being like, hey man, you're in. Yes, sir. And go do it. Just if we're pointing at you and wanting you in, there's a reason. So go believe in yourself that you can do it as well.
And staying in the moment, it's easy to get ahead of ourselves. It's easy to look in the past, and it's like, what an amazing time that we have. What an opportunity that we have to just play football. Who are you guys playing this week?
We're playing Hill Country Austin.
Hill Country Austin.
Yeah. Hill Country Christian School of Austin. Yes.
Okay, great. PM. So there it is. 7 p.m. Thank you so much, Coach, for spending the time with me, for letting us all know what is going on in the program. We need a big win this week. I know we can get it. We're rooting for you guys. We'll be out there supporting. Everybody come out and support with us. We'll run a little music here and maybe even a little applause for Coach Sofet. There you have it, folks. Thank you so much from Skybox Studio above Bear Stadium, Coach Sofet. Bear football Friday night, 7 p.m. Come on out, support, and thank you for watching our podcast. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Go Bears. Come out Friday night.
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you, sir.